Diarrhea, which means having a loose or watery stool or poop, happens to all once in a while. Maybe it happens to you when you are on a trip to a distant location, which is also called the traveler's diarrhea, or eating food that upsets your digestive system, especially when you travel, or from food poisoning or any other causes. But do you know that there are plants you can easily chew or take as an infusion to relieve this condition? You can take any of these plants along with you when you travel, or have them in your refrigerator, or even in a dry form in your first aid box to be taken when needed. In this video, I will talk briefly about diarrhea and some of those plants to treat or relieve diarrhea. You can find these plants both in the tropics and temperate regions of the world. So, wherever you are located in the world, I will mention a plant you can find near you that relieves diarrhea. Diarrhea means having a loose or watery stool or poop. It can cause you to lose too much fluid, that is causing dehydration, or prevent you from getting enough nutrients even when you eat well. It's important to know what to look out for so you know. We have different types of diarrhea that goes by different names depending on how long it lasts. The first is acute diarrhea. Acute diarrhea is loose, watery diarrhea that lasts 1 to 2 days. It's the most common type and usually goes away by cutting out on some food or without treatment. Number 2 is persistent diarrhea. Persistent diarrhea lasts about 2 to 4 weeks. And chronic diarrhea. Chronic diarrhea lasts more than 4 weeks or comes and goes regularly over a long period. Diarrhea that lasts this long may indicate a more serious condition that warrants a visit with your healthcare provider. The common medical causes of diarrhea is a virus that infects your gut. Some call it the stomach flu or a stomach bug, but diarrhea can have several lot of causes. Number 1, infection. Pathogens such as viruses, bacteria, and parasites can all cause infection that leads to diarrhea both in kids and in adults. The most common cause of diarrhea in adults is the norovirus that causes gastroenteritis. Rotavirus is the most common cause of acute diarrhea in children. Number 2 is food poisoning. You can ingest harmful toxins and pathogens from contaminated food or drinks. Once they are in your gut, the toxins or germs can cause diarrhea. That is the traveler's diarrhea. Is when you get diarrhea while traveling in a new environment with poor hygiene or sanitation. Usually, it's exposure to bacteria that gives you diarrhea. Diarrhea can also be as a result of medication. Diarrhea is a common medication side effect. For example, antibiotics kills harmful bacteria that makes you sick, but they can also destroy helpful bacteria in the process. So, not having enough good bacteria in your body can lead to diarrhea. Diarrhea is also a side effect of antacid with magnesium and some cancer drug and treatments. Also, overusing laxative can cause diarrhea. Another one is food that upsets your digestive system. If you are lactose intolerant, you get diarrhea because your body struggles to digest lactose, the sugar in dairy. Some people have trouble digesting fructose, a sugar in honey and fruits that is added as sweetener to some food. One of the common plants that cures diarrhea is basil. Basil or scent leaf, also known as Ocimum gratissimum. Basil is known to have antibacterial effect on pathogenic gastrointestinal bacteria, that is pathogen in your intestine. How do you use basil to cure diarrhea? You can chew basil leaves and drink room temperature water over it. or put a leaf or two of basil in a warm water and wait for about 5 minutes before drinking to relieve diarrhea. Both children and adults can use this to stop diarrhea. Another plant you can use to cure diarrhea is turmeric. Turmeric, also called curcuma longa, is a deep golden orange spice known for adding color, flavor, and nutrition to food. You can use the rhizome or the powdered form to relieve diarrhea. How do you use it? A pinch of turmeric powder in a glass of warm water will help combat loose stools. Turmeric has antiseptic and anti-inflammatory properties. Make sure not to overdo this home remedy though, because turmeric can react with any prescribed medication and worsen the symptoms. So if you are on a medication, don't use turmeric. The third plant to relieve diarrhea is cinnamon. Cinnamon, also called Cinnamomum verum or Cinnamomum cassia, is also an effective anti-diarrhea. In a recent scientific report, water extract of cinnamon was found to cure irritable bowel syndrome with diarrhea by directly inhibiting tryptophan hydroxylase and controlling serotonin synthesis, which is a well-known pathogenic factor for irritable bowel syndrome accompanied with diarrhea. Another research also confirmed that cinnamon intake relieves diarrhea symptoms through metabolic changes due to changes in intestinal microbial groups. That is, cinnamon helps to stabilize the microbial content of our intestine, thereby curing diarrhea. How do you use cinnamon to relieve diarrhea? You have a pinch of cinnamon powder with some warm water and lemon juice, or simply put a cinnamon stick in a cup with a slice of lemon and drink to relieve diarrhea. This cinnamon stick can also be reused several times. Just make sure anytime you use the cinnamon stick, it is well hair dried properly when used, and then you keep to use later. So you might want to take a stick of cinnamon with you whenever you're traveling. The fourth one is nutmeg, also known as myristica fragrans. Nutmeg is beneficial in the management of diarrhea. It has good antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory activities. It helps to reduce the microbial infection in the bowel. It also reduces inflammation of the intestine. Also, when children or sometimes adults are given antibiotics for cold and other sicknesses, they might catch diarrhea. So using a plant like nutmeg help to relieve the diarrhea. Usage: you can mix an half teaspoon of nutmeg in honey you mixed in warm water to cure diarrhea. So parents of infants and toddlers should buy and keep nutmeg at home. Children can get stomach ache during night also. So nutmeg would cure stomach problem within minutes. Also, nutmeg powder can also be used. The recommended amount of nutmeg tea remedy for adults is half a teaspoon per use, while it is 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg in hot water for children. Also, when children have stomach pain and indigestion, nutmeg can be added to warm water and drink. So, cover top of mug with a saucer to keep therapeutic oil from evaporating from the nutmeg tea. Steep for about 15 minutes or longer, and then stir in honey if using. Stir before drinking to incorporate the nutmeg granule if you are using the powdered form of nutmeg to relieve stomach ache or diarrhea. The fifth one is bay leaf. Bay leaf, also known as Laurus nobilis. Extracts of bay leaf can inhibit the growth of Escherichia coli, Vibrio cholerae, and Salmonella species. These are the bacterium that produces an enterotoxin so as to cause diarrhea. Traditionally, it has been used for the treatment of gastrointestinal problems such as impaired digestion, flatulence, belching, and bloating, which has many analgesic effects. Other health benefits of bay leaf, aside for the relief of diarrhea, is it helps improving digestive health, helps in improving hair health, helps in improving heart health, reduces anxiety and stress, used in the treatment of menstrual problem, helps to treat respiratory condition, is an anti-inflammatory, it helps to prevent cancer, diabetic management, helps in inducing sleep. So, to create a diarrhea herbal medication from bay leaf, what you need is just 5 fresh bay leaf in water and then add a pinch of salt. The first step to do is wash the bay leaf to make sure there are no bacteria on them. Boil about 2 glasses of water with the leaf in it. Add some salt, but do not add too much, especially if the person using it is hypertensive. When the water is left in about 10 minutes in a glass, filter it. Drink the water to heal the diarrhea. Many anti-diarrhea medications, such as the use of antibiotic drug, are still widely used as diarrhea therapy, but have mixed efficacy and can cause side effects. Therefore, alternative medicines such as the use of plants are better and are readily available for use to cure diarrhea. So when next you feel a nudge in your stomach or you catch a stomach bug, there are several leaves or plants you can use at home that have been mentioned in this video. So make sure you click the like button in this video, subscribe if you are yet to do so, drop a comment in the comment section, and continue watching the Plant Therapist YouTube channel for the medicinal uses of plants near you. Thank you. Bye-bye.